Hello, it's Adrian here at Talking Logistics, and welcome to this week's edition of Above the Fold, where we focus in on a news item from the past week in the world of supply chain logistics, provide a brief commentary, and then raise a question for you to provide your perspective on. And this week is about the growing use of robots in manufacturing and logistics operations. According to the Robotic Industries Association, a record number of robots were shipped to companies last year, with more non-automotive companies investing in robots. So obviously, the automotive industry has been a leader in this in the adoption of robots for decades now. But we're seeing more and more companies now in other industries invest in robot technology and manufacturing and logistics, warehousing, operations, with some of the fastest growing industries being food and consumer goods, which was up 48%, plastics and rubber, 37%, life sciences, 31%, and electronics, 22%. The other interesting thing from the news was that, the use of robots is not just for large and, multi-billion-dollar companies, but a lot of small and mid-sized companies are also investing in robot technology. Which I think shows how the technology has evolved to the point where it's, the form factors and the cost is now, the barriers to implementation have come down. So it's interesting to me, just last week I talked about, the FedEx same day robot, these delivery robots that get a lot of attention, certainly drones and autonomous trucks and everything else. There's a lot of attention being placed on robots in the transportation realm, but the reality is that where a lot of the activity is, a lot of the implementations that are taking place and where the technology is most mature is really in the warehousing and manufacturing space. So my main question is, as companies use more and more robots in their manufacturing and logistics operations, what will the role of humans be? Will you be, co-workers working side by side with robots? And certainly that's a lot of the story today, or how it's positioned today, or will we become basically overseers of robots and maintenance workers, making sure that the robots are working okay. So anyway, I think as the years go by, I think the role of us humans in warehousing and manufacturing operations are going to change. And so I'm kind of interested in getting your perspective on what our role would be. I think this also reminds me of a 2012 article by Kevin Kelly in Wired magazine, where he talked about the 7 stages of robot replacement. Where the first stage is, a robot can never do the job that I do, and the second one is, well, it can do some of the things, but it breaks down often, so I usually have to go and help anyway. The third stage is, well, it can do most of what I can do pretty well, but the robot still needs me to train it new things. The fourth one being, okay, fine, it can do what I can do, and those jobs weren't meant for humans anyway. And then ultimately, you find a new job, and you say, "Well, it's a good thing. I've got a new job. It's great, with better pay, and much more fun. And it's a good thing the robots will never be able to do what I do now." And the cycle then keeps repeating itself. So I think that's where we are today. I think some of the things that we thought just a few years ago that robots will never be able to do, such as individual item picking, when you see some of the robots that are there today, that are being tested today. We're getting very close to that, if not almost there already. So I think this is going to be a continuously fast evolving space. And again, the question is going to become, what are we as humans? What's going to be our role in manufacturing and warehousing and logistics operations, moving forward? So that's my 2 cents on it. Look forward to getting your perspective on it. Okay, have a great day.